All right, y'all, what's up? This is a 7 p.m. post game presented by FanDuel. Guys, as a Knicks fan, how comfortable do you feel with them sitting at a 1-1 tie heading into Atlanta after one of the most brutal late game breakdowns I've seen in a team or franchise, frankly, that has a lot of those? How comfortable do you feel going into Atlanta as a Knicks fan?
You out of control, man. Now I feel comfortable, man.
Nervous.
Yeah, I feel comfortable.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? I do think that one thing about New York and the Knicks, you're gonna hear the noise. Mm-hmm. So you're gonna know how everybody feel, opinions, everybody is the genius and how to fix it and adjustments and all of that. But you also know inside the locker room what you really need to do. And some things be very blatant and obvious, right? I'm confident of the Knicks going into Atlanta because the Knicks is a championship team, right? So when you're a championship team and you thinking championship, you're not going to allow what happened to happen again the same way. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying the results may be different or anything like that. I'm saying you're not going to allow yourself to go through the same thing back to back, right? You take Coach Snyder, Quinn Snyder. He ain't allowed them to lose the same way in game 2, right? He made the adjustments. Now it's time for the Knicks to make their adjustments. This is going to go back and forth. You know what I mean? We just be wanting the Knicks to everything 4-0. You know what I mean? It's like this is a boxing match. Yeah. You know, we ain't sweeping nobody. Obviously we're not sweeping nobody, but it's a boxing match. They came in and Atlanta did what they supposed to do.
I don't know, man. It's like you've been in playoff games, win or lose, you can't necessarily take that momentum from the last game into the next one. It's a brand new game, right?
Yeah, no, of course.
But when you lose a game like that, up 14, in the Garden, you know, Knicks fans start getting a lot of PTSD. And I'm sure do players even feel that, even though it has nothing to do with their team? Like, if that would have happened to you, like, are you thinking of, like, the Reggie Miller games and the Trae Young games and all this? Not saying you remember Trae Young. No. Does any of that stuff that fans think of?
No, not at all.
Players start to think of.
No, because a lot of times, most of the time, you be so locked in to the playoffs, into preparation, into recovery, into eating, like rest, you know what I mean? Like it's just an ongoing cycle. So you're not really, you know, online like that and or reading newspapers, you know what I mean? And you're not thinking about that. What you are thinking about, you watching the game a million times though.
Yep.
Again, I don't know if everybody's like this, but from experience, you just watching over and over. Watching one game may take 3 hours, like, because you just start, stop, rewind, start, rewind. Like it's a whole process. So if you that locked in, you don't got time to worry about the opinions of fans.
Let's say you looked at some tape. I'm sure you've watched a lot of the games since. What's the adjustment that this Knicks team needs to make, man? Like, they looked like they were in control for at least 3/4 of that homestand in the first 2 games of the series, and then just kind of let go of the rope in the last fourth quarter. What's the adjustments you see that the Knicks got to make?
The Knicks was up 14. So let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Like, the Knicks played well enough to be up 14, so they put themselves in that position. I think Atlanta never stopped playing, right? I think they momentum started to build up. Once you put the second unit in, the Atlanta momentum still was going. The Knicks second unit came in and they played well. That second unit played well. That Jose mucked the game up.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody say he shouldn't have got CJ riled up.
Yeah.
But that's what he's supposed to do. You don't want him in there to do nothing else but to muck the game up, get into it with guys, get some steals.
That's what he's there for.
Get Cat the ball. You know what I mean? Like, I like that unit with Jose, Cat, Jordan Clarkson, Mitchell Robinson, and I think OG. Like, I like that unit. to be your second unit. You know what I mean? Because now you're going to play fast. And like now, Jose's job is to get Cat the ball. That's his job. And he do that. You get what I'm saying? Cat loves to play with that unit. You know, I know they say Cat and JB was off the court at the same time for too long. Okay, but yeah, I agree. But if the guys are playing well in front of you, then you got to roll with that sometimes. You know what I mean? You don't want to kill that momentum. They was a reason why we was up 12.
Of course.
That second unit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying them guys should have sat out that long, but I'm sure Mike Brown was in a fucked up position because they like, yo, these guys are playing well. And don't we want our bench to play well? Yes or no?
It's odd to hear the JB and Cat are sitting out too much noise, especially after last year. When you're Tibbs, you know, watching Tibbs seemingly run guys to the ground and play them too much, you know what I mean? And now you're on this side of the fence and fans are like, well, Mike Brown shouldn't have sat them this long or, you know, shouldn't have put the bench players out there. So he's kind of a little bit of a microscope right now.
You don't.
He's definitely is damned if you do.
Yeah, damn if you do, damn if you don't. The moral of the story is the Knicks shouldn't have lost a fucking game.
Yeah.
Like that's the moral of the story. The elephant in the room is the Knicks shouldn't have lost a game. They did everything they were supposed to do to get themselves up 12, up 14. And now you got to give Atlanta credit. Atlanta came back and they kept going. And then they found something that worked in game 2 at the end of the game.
Right.
They found something that worked at the end of the game in game 2. Not to say that same thing may not work in game 3, because if you're making the adjustments, the right adjustments that you're supposed to make after seeing that, after hearing that as a team, as a coach, as a staff, you should make the right adjustments.
I think we got to be specific on what Melo's talking about or what worked in the fourth quarter.
Well, what I'm saying is Atlanta, what they did was they started to, because they was playing so fast and trying to get back, they found shit that started to work in the midst of that momentum. Oh shit, okay, we got one with JB. We got one. Oh, we score on this one. Okay, oh shit, CJ got it going. Okay, I bet. CJ got it going like that. It's very hard for anybody to stop CJ in a one-on-one situation. We looking at like Portland CJ, right? So CJ's a smart player too. Okay, I'm just going to attack where I know I can attack at. I'm going to keep manipulating the game, manipulating the pick and roll. Coach Snyder sees it. Everybody on the court sees it. And we all align with this. And CJ kept going, and he kept scoring, and momentum got to go. I'm sure Atlanta's looking at that like, oh, we got something going into game 3. And they're going to try to expose that. So the adjustment is, what you going to do? You going to let CJ play one-on-one again? No. Yeah, JB got to, he got to do what he got to do. That's a tough check.
I was about to say, like, is there an adjustment that needs to be made?
It is.
Do you double CJ or do you tell
got to.
Jalen Brunson like, nah, we can't double?
Yeah, you could do all of that heroic shit. You could do all of that. We trying to win. We trying to win. We already know what Atlanta's trying to expose. We trying to win.
But
let's put our pride and shit to the side and do this as a unit. We know Atlanta know that could be an attack point for them. We know that. So let's make those adjustments to do that.
I don't like that, yo.
CJ is, and let me give you another point.
I don't like that.
Listen, CJ in a switch situation, the reason why it's never been exposed like it is now and the eyeballs is on it and people paying attention to, because most people that JB switch on don't have the skill set to exploit the mismatch that they think they have.
Right.
There's only a couple guys in the league who want to switch and is looking to exploit that and will exploit that. There's only a couple, and CJ is one of those guys.
I don't know if I like doubling him in that situation.
I'm not saying double. You gotta get the ball out of his hands.
Mikal and OG, I don't want to double CJ, and now you got.
It's not double. When
Jalen Johnson.
when I say double,
or just get it.
Let me rephrase that.
Okay.
Not double, because double is like what the Lakers was doing to KD.
Right.
That was double team. Right.
Okay.
that was a smack defense.
Gotcha.
Like, we're going to get it out of his hands. I'm not saying you got to do all of that with CJ. but you have to shade him. You have to bring somebody up, let him see two people, get the ball out of his hands. You have to. If you just let him size you up and get to it, that's what he want to do.
Yeah. It's gonna be rough, man. I hope Jalen Brunson has an incredible defensive game. I know offensively he's gonna bounce back.
It's not even saying like he had a bad defensive game. He just had he had a moment, he had a couple moments, bad moments against a motherfucker who's a killer.
Yeah.
And the killer took advantage of those situations in that moment. Yeah. JB got everybody in those situations all the time. You get what I'm saying? He know it when he smell blood, he goes. And that situation towards the end of the game, CJ smelled blood. And now the Sharks is in the water.
All right, let's talk about Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, offensively, he's been pretty efficient, 25 in game 1, 18 in game 2. But, you know, we're not really seeing a lot of the interior pressure from the Atlanta Hawks. It kind of feels like there's more pressure for Cat to take it to an even higher level and get like 20s and 30-point games. How much pressure is on him now to sort of like take his game to a higher level, not just offensively, but defensively as well?
I mean, game 1, he had 3 blocks.
Yeah.
Right, I'm talking about effective blocks.
Yeah.
Like
he played great game 1.
Yeah, Cat was low. He was, he was protecting the rim. He was talking. He was moving. Like he had a great defense, like overall game in game 1. Game 2, again, Atlanta made adjustments. It's chess. It's chess. We did that. You had a great game. You had a great overall game. Atlanta came back, made the adjustments. They took one from us. Now we go back. Now we got to go take it back. New York is good for that. The Knicks is good for going to win on somebody else's court.
Yeah, that's a fact.
They actually played better in other people's court.
I was about to say, Lois the Keys, like,
and they know Atlanta. They know the arena. There's a lot of Knicks fans in Atlanta.
Yeah, it almost feels like, and this is just from a fan perspective, basketball has probably nothing to do with this, but I think I speak for a lot of Knicks fans, is that we almost get more uneasy when the Hawks are visiting and they go on a run like they did in the fourth quarter.
Trae Young did that. Because it
reminds you of Trae.
Trae Young did that. It goes to Trae.
It's in there. It's in there, man. And,
Trae gone right now, man. You ain't got to worry about Trae.
I think the Knicks do play better on the road. I think damn near all of their best playoff moments last year were on the road. In Boston, in Detroit. Like, they can't smoke these next two. So, Melo, I need 4 reasons.
I don't think they're going to smoke her.
I don't think they're going to smoke them. But if they do, my God, it's going to be scary. But give us 4 reasons why the Knicks will win this series, though. Give the Knicks fans some hope, some hopium.
Because they got championship aspirations, for one. They've been built to make a championship run. So that comes with a different mindset, different mentality. Whereas Atlanta is starting to bubble. Like they put together their future right now. So it's two different mindsets, I would say. 2 different paths right now. The Knicks got a whole nother path. Atlanta got a whole nother path. So when you put those things together, that leads towards Knicks. You talk about one of the best clutch players in the NBA, the closer, Jalen Brunson, we talking about Cat. Average a double-double. Cat is Cat.
Yep.
You know what I mean? He's probably the greatest big man in shooting big man in the NBA. Right? You talking about defenders. OG, Mikal, Josh Hart. So you're talking about 3-and-D guys also with toughness and defense. Right? You got a bench now. Right? You got Mitchell Robinson who's affecting the game in a major way, but that's also another chess move that Atlanta uses.
Yep.
Right? Which is why it's hard as a coach to say, when should I play Mitch and when should I not? It's hard to balance that. Yeah, and I just think overall, the Knicks got a better team than Atlanta. All right.
They look like the better team for like 1 7/8 of those last 2 home games. It was just that incredible run from CJ. And that I don't know if they had a timeout or didn't have a timeout. I don't know. It was just a lot of confusing things.
This is at the peak of like, this team that we watch with the Knicks is the peak of like of a plan.
Okay.
Like, this is part of a 4 or 5. This is where the Knicks should be at this point in time, according to the strategy.
Yeah.
Right? So now the Knicks feel like we have what we have. We built what we built. We went through what we went through. Now this year is the step that we have to take in order to validate this plan and this strategy.
And they better, man.
But they doing it. I mean, they dropped one game. They weren't supposed to lose a game.
Hey.
But Atlanta took it. Like, Atlanta took the game. They ain't just give it away. Atlanta took the game.
Yeah, I mean, I already had this series going 6 games anyway. I think Atlanta's a lot better than people, give credit for.
Atlanta's very good. Fucking good, bro. They're very, very good.
I figured it's going to be a 6-game series, but when you lose a game like in the style you do it, it's always,
the Knicks is always going 7, bro.
It can never be easy. It can never just be
always 7. Like, that's
sailing.
That's just.
It's got to be dramatic. It's got to be some wild bounce or some wild choke, something. It's always something.
It's New York.
It is what it is, though. This is 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, the Wave Original, presented by FanDuel. And this is a 7 p.m. post game. Right now, new FanDuel customers can bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Head to FanDuel.com/7 p.m. to get started. FanDuel, play your game. You know what to do. Subscribe to our YouTube channels, podcast channels. Leave a like, leave a rating, and leave a review. We love them all. For the Hall of Famer Carmelo Anthony, my name is Kaz, and this Monday we are off. No new episode of 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, but we will catch y'all next time, people. So enjoy the playoffs, and we'll see y'all next time in the hook. Peace.
Peace.